Hello students, welcome back to Avicus Academy. Today we will understand the essays of the 2019 CAPF examination. We'll just understand the framework or the guidelines which are to be followed. We are not very sure these are to be followed because the examination is already completed. Just for your insights, we are giving this information to you all. So the very first title which was suggested in 2019 examination is Earth is not only for human beings. So very expected, and it is in fact I'll let you know the entire paper 2 of your scheme of examination was something which is generalistic in nature. It is not really tough to understand the questions altogether. It is very easy to convince the examiner altogether, and the statement language, the literature that is used by UPSC also seems to be not really very difficult. It is also understandable to a common man as well. What is the title requesting from all of us? So the very first title here is Earth is not only for human beings. Here two things that are to be highlighted is Earth, that is the keywords you will have to identify. First keyword is Earth and the second keyword is human beings. So after you understand the keywords, you need to generate a relationship between Earth and human beings. So it is a positive statement or a negative statement, you will first of all have to understand. Earth is not only for human beings, केवल मानव के लिए नहीं है Earth, ठीक है? So इस तरह से यदि देखा जाए तो अपन को ये मालूम चल रहा है this is a negative statement. So negative statement यानी you will be coming across with one important word called exploitation. That is the Earth's exploitation can one keyword which can also to be highlighted, which can also be added to this particular title, which makes the entire 300 words very comfortable and very easy in fact. So try to understand. What are the key points that are to be added in this particular essay? So key points that are to be added is you can give a one-liner, how was Earth before and how is the Earth present. ठीक है, पहले कैसा था Earth, अब कैसा, ठीक है, because of the increase in the total population and decrease in the total animal population. That is the flora and fauna can be connected in this particular initial lines itself. That is, how was Earth before, how was the planet before, how is the planet in the contemporary times, what is the percentage of animals, what is the percentage of plants, what is the percentage of human beings. With the increase in the population, there is a degradation to the environment altogether. One key thing which you can also add here is, you can also connect with here is environmental connectivity can also be done with particular essay. At the same time, I want some of you would have also highlighted something very important, how the protection of Earth, ठीक है, कैसे अपने Earth को protect करने के लिए क्या क्या summits हमने conduct किया है. So you can also easily add here something called Earth Summit, ठीक है, the Rio de Janeiro वाला Earth Summit you can add here. With that you can also add something called Kyoto Protocol. You can also add something called Paris Summit in the recent times. And what are the targets of Paris Summit can in fact also be added here. At the same time, this is something with related to the protection of Earth. At the same time, you can also add something called the list of IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. The IUCN reports can in fact be added. The list of IUCN, the vulnerable list, most vulnerable list, red list, इस तरह का सारा आप इसमें जोड़ सकते हो. Then at the same time, you can also add something called forest report. The present forest report can also be added. What is the percentage suggested to the states? 33%. And what is the percentage maintaining on an average by the states? You can also add here. At the same time, you can also add some reports of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This is another ministry which you can connect it with. So if you make all the points that are in connection with this, probably maintaining 300 words was a very easy task in our Sunday wala examination. So Earth is not alone for not for humans only. This is something which must be connected with your environmental studies, and which is not unpredicted one, which is a most known thing in the examination altogether. So this is how I request you all to, I hope that you all have maintained in this particular pattern altogether. So one another thing which I wanted you to highlight here was like you can also go for UNFCCC, United Framework Convention on Climate Change. उसका reports भी आप इसमें जोड़ सकते हो. You can also add some reports in this connection also. So see, like some of the students were texting me, in fact were even sending a mail to me saying that sir, it is a completely generalistic title, nothing facts can be added in this particular 4 or 5 of the essays that are suggested by UPSC. But trust me, these are all facts. Clear? These are all facts and which are to be inserted in your papers altogether. Then the next question, yes, I do admire that it is not factual, but this is something which can be connected with the facts or the related aspects altogether. Clear? Next, the second important title suggested here is Impact of Social Media on Social Relationships. Impact of social media on social relationships. Clear? See, impact of social media on youth. If this is the title suggested, then probably everyone can do not at least 300 words, but more than 300 words, more than 500 words, more than 1000 could also be possible. But UPSC haven't given such a big scope to us. It is not diversified statement. It is a statement which confines us to a limited path. UPSC does not allow here to go for unlimited deadlines. We have only a strict deadline here, because two things which are to be highlighted here is, one is social media and the other is social relationships. These are the two things which are to be highlighted. And social relationships क्या हो जाएगा? Social relationships का मतलब you will be going for maybe a marital relation, यानी husband and wife का relation. You can also go for parental relation, that is a father-son, mother-son, father-daughter, mother-daughter wala relation. You can also go for connect it with some brotherhood relation, that is sibling wala relation you can connect it with. You can also connect it with some friendship relation. At the same time, you can also connect it with some professional relation. That is impact of social media on social relationships. At the same time, social media, if this is the task given to you all, then social media, you can also add like Facebook or Insta or YouTube or Twitter or any other social networking sites which are currently running in the country. But these are the social networking sites. They are asking you to relate a relationship between social media and social relationships. Then when the examiner asks you to write the impact, see, here you don't have to go for alone negative impact. You can also create a positive impact also. I mean, you can actually, this particular statement you can actually critically analyze. Critically analyze matlab, you'll be giving the pros, you'll be giving the cons. You'll be giving the positives, you'll be giving the negatives. You'll be giving some points with regard to for, you'll be giving some points with regard to against. So what impact it has? Impact means it is asking you view. It's a underlying view the UPSC wants from you, and it does not actually alone requires a negative criticism. It requires an ever-ending connectivity, but limited to the social relationships. So you don't have to connect it like Facebook, its impact on parental relationships, because usually the kids, the children go abroad. And after they go to abroad, now social media is something which is connecting the parent and the children. They can go for a video calling, they can go for video chatting or something in this particular pattern. At the same time, this can also be in a negative touch also. And like recent times, you might have heard of one important thing called TikTok, which was allowed to be banned actually, which was all said to be banned because of its impact on social relationships. The wife is into the TikTok and the husband does not like that. And if the husband wants to the wife to stop the TikTok doing, then probably the wife does not. Then the husband is ready to even to give the divorce to the wife. So this is what the impact of social media suggests to all of us. So impact of social media on social relationships, that is, you can connect it with all this stuff. But the UPSC made us be very, very limited for this particular point of time, but you can also connect it with all such generalistic terminologies. And here, yes, I do accept it. कुछ facts related आप इसमें नहीं डाल सकते because it is a very, very generalistic pattern of understanding the question altogether. But the next question suggested here was like the third title, in fact, was something related to sustainable farming is the need of the hour than rhetorical promises. Is the need of hour than rhetorical promises. So here you will have to highlight in their examination something about what is sustainable farming. So what actually means sustainable farming? Let me explain you all. Sustainable farming is something where you will be going for a farming with the minimum input which gains the maximum output. At the same time, the farming which does not affect the environment, the farming which does not exploit the earth, the farming which does not exploit the natural resources. So these are all some basic generous things which you can probably add here. But one another key point here is rhetoric promises. That is, sustainable farming is the need of the hour than rhetoric promises. This is another key line which I wanted you people to highlight in the examination. But in rhetoric promises, see, like rhetoric promises are something which they are the promises which are not fulfilled. They are the promises which are made but unable to be fulfilled altogether. So that are called rhetoric promises. And once you connect it with rhetoric promises, because see, like in Paris summit, there is a definition given called CBDR. You can also add it here, like combined but differentiated responsibility. Combined but differentiated responsibility is something where both the developed and developing countries have the same agenda, but the mode of implementing that particular agenda is differed from one country to another country. That is, CBDR can even be added in this particular essay. At the same time, you can also slightly divert towards a concept of organic farming here. You can bring into picture the best example of Sikkim. At the same time, you can also bring the examples worldwide, how they are performing with related to organic farming altogether. So sustainable farming is something called a healthy farming, which does not affect any section in the country. And you can also go for like HYV seeds, which are the part of green evolution, high yield variety seeds, which are utilized. The minimum input, maximum output is being generated. At the same time, one thing which I wanted you to highlight here is farming as the theme can in fact be taken to the next levels also. That is, presently Indian agricultural dependency is higher, and the population, when they are more dependent on agriculture, then farming needs new mechanisms, new techniques, new methodologies which are lacking in our country India. So that also I wanted actually you people to be connecting with. Hope you all have done the same thing in your examination. So this was the third title suggested, sustainable farming is the need of the hour. Then the next title, in fact, it's a very interesting title which was given by UPSC in 2019 CAPF. That is, in fact, a very easy title, role of Indian Army in national building. Role of Indian Army in national building. Clear? I think इससे आसान टाइटल शायद कभी यूपीएससी देते नहीं है. Clear? Because it is the most expected title, something which is expected from you all, something which is which UPSC wants in your interviews also. Many of the interview guidance programs also AVKs have conducted, and this was the main theme of the interview session altogether, that is role of Indian Army in national building. So Indian Army, you can also connect it with like how Indian Army was before independence, that is before 1947, what was the status of army. Then you can also connect it with during independence. During independence matlab during 1947 से 1951 तक, that was during independence, making of the country. And later the post independence यानी after 1951 till 2019. So you can actually connect it with in this particular manner. I wanted you to do this before independence, during independence and post independence, so you can bring all the historical facts and figures with respect to this. At the same time, during independence and post independence, you can also connect it with like a tridal concept like army, Air Force and Navy. What is their role in national building? What are the recent defense equipments that are prepared by DRDO or some other organization? You can also connect it with like the missile system of India. All the missiles you can in fact add like Prithvi, Agni, Trishul, Nag, Akash, Brahmos, Barak, Nirbhay, K missile, is tarah se, theek hai. Then probably you can very easily, I think you can land over 300 words for this particular title. Kyunki I want you to connect it with the past, be in the present, and also during the independence formation as well. So that is one another easy title which I think need not be elaborated much in this particular session. Then the next title that was suggested by UPSC in 2019 CAPF was online gaming. Online gaming is dangerously attractive to youth. Online gaming is dangerously attractive to the youth. So this also no need to be much elaborative in this particular session, because online gaming is like you might have heard of PUBG. You might have also heard of Blue Whale, all the other Candy Crush, all the other items also. So you can also bring into picture like there is a body called ESA, that is Entertainment Software Association, which gives the figures like nearly 48% of the girls along with women are into online gaming. That is almost 50% of the Indian as well as the worldwide female are presently getting more motivated towards the online gaming. Like online gaming was out of two forms. One is like ESA says it is something knowledge gaining games, and the other is entertainment games. Clear? Knowledge gaining games are definitely suitable for the boys, for the children, while entertainment games, which you call Candy Crush, which you call PUBG, which you call Blue Whale or something others. So these are actually mentally disappointing or distracting the youth. At the same time, the physical activities of the youth are now lacking. That is, usually once upon a time, games का मतलब मैदान में हुआ करते थे. That is, the games used to happen in fields. But nowadays, every game is happening in a mobile phone. Every game is happening in a computers. Like every computer and every mobile phone is now AI connected, like it is artificial intelligence connected. So you can also connect it with this particular thing. Clear? So there are two types of online gamings. One is knowledge gaining games and the other is entertainment games. So now the major focus or the major concern is with the entertainment games, not with the knowledge gaining games. At the same time, like you can also connect it with like how many youth below 18, that is children, is one another title which was given. So how many youth are getting attracted towards the online gaming, you can also do this. How India have the impact, why India bans some online gamings altogether. Like see, there are two types of gaming here. Another thing which I want you to stress is online gaming. Online gaming ka matlab, there are 2 to 3 people or more than 3 people are playing together. That is online gaming actually. Clear? Some gamings are already inbuilt, and UPSC don't want you to stress more about the inbuilt games, but wanted to stress more on the online gamings where 2 to multiple players are playing a particular game at the same time. That is what also can be highlighted in this particular title. Like UPSC always wants you people to just stick to the given title, not to go beyond, not to go backward also. Clear? Stick always to the given suggested title altogether. Like the next title, in fact it's a very expected title once again. In many of our test series also we have suggested this title, The Complexity and Unpredictability of Indian Politics. Clear? The complexity and unpredictability of Indian politics. So here I want you to highlight the politics wala question mein. I wanted actually one thing which is a keyword called complexity, and the other keyword is unpredictability. Okay, so connecting with complexity, complexity is something which is difficult, like difficult to understand. How Indian politics are difficult to understand than any other politics, than any other world politics. Obviously, it will be very difficult because we have only 545 members getting elected to the Lok Sabha, and at the same time 545 members are getting elected to Lok Sabha only over a lesser time span of 2 months. That is, can be called a complexity, but can also be called a beauty of India's democracy. Because within a span of 2 months, we are electing one Prime Minister, which means that 100 crores of Indian population are voting, are participating in the voting, and to choose only one Prime Minister. That is a beautiful system we have. At the same time, which is also complex, which is also rigid by this mechanism. Because you also understand this election is conducted by a body called Election Commission of India, and Election Commission of India is alone a 3-member body. Clear? There is one election commissioner and 2 other, one CEC, Chief Election Commissioner, and 2 other election commissioners. So only 3 people are involved in conduct of polls, I mean national wide. Probably it is another complex structure which you can also be highlighted. Then at the same time, here there is something mentioned here called unpredictability. When they give you a title unpredictability, because of the political party stand, how UPA was, how NDA is. Because you can also connect slightly with the issue of Jammu and Kashmir, which happened in the recent times. You can also connect it with the triple talaq. You can also connect it with the recent real estate amendment bills. You can also connect it with the bankers associations, like bank frauds altogether, insolvents and bankrupts. Like you can also add something mentioned here, like the unpredictability where the Prime Minister Modi, what are the stands that are taken by the present Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, his foreign policy, before foreign policy. So it is slightly unpredictable, like surgical strikes, which are unpredictable. Like these are all some of the, like the reservation, 10% reservation, which is also can be highlighted. So is tarah se I want you to take the entire essay, because something which is more about the factual. Again, I repeat a quick revision here. Earth is not for humans only. Like this was the title which was factual. Impact of social media on social relationship, which is completely general.